One specific German operation from the last decade just now comes onto the screen. Germany seems to have been the driving force behind the euro, allegedly to unite Europe. But recent claims that China was underrating its currency made me re-evaluate the German euro policy. Germany, since the 1980s, crushed its domestic market by constantly raising taxes. The real wages, for example, were reduced by 3 or 4% over the last decade, while every other European country increased the wages by at least 3 or 4%, or even over 10%. As a result of lack of home consumption, Germany now has to export its products. This caused the Deutsche Mark to rise, naturally reducing German competitiveness. Now the euro was introduced. Suddenly the countries with a weak economy were able to get credit for 5% instead of 15% as before. The cheap money caused them to spend more money in Germany and on the world market. This kept the exchange rate for the euro down, facilitating German exports. Looking at China recently being accused of artificially lowering the value of their currency, it seems very much that this was Germany's intention as well when pushing the euro. This conclusion is supported by the fact that German banks are not in danger to lose credits. They obviously, in contrast to foreign banks, had been warned or were involved from the very beginning. Now let's see what effects this relatively high exchange rate had for the countries with a formerly weak currency. Before the euro they had a high inflation rate, causing high interest rates on credits. This prevented them from borrowing too much money. The constant devaluation of their currencies caused them to remain competitive on the market, despite offering less sophisticated technologies or agricultural products. The loss of competitiveness and export markets was concealed by cheap credits for a while. Now the credits cannot be returned, endangering banks abroad and forcing the affected countries to sell assets like railways, airports, highways, harbors, or state-owned telecom companies to foreign powers. This allows these foreign powers to even get a tighter grip on those unfortunate victims of the euro. In future, foreign powers will decide about who is employed in former public companies and who is sacked. We can be sure that a Greek telecom worker not complying with orders of his German-owned company will be substituted by someone else. For example, if he exposes wiretapping. The foreign masters will also decide where they will invest and who will be waiting for service, and which company will get the contracts to deliver equipment.